Okay, so you all saw I was asked to do a comparison of USC to ESBC. Now, I won't go over too many of the mechanics since ESBC still isn't complete, so I will keep this as a comparison of UFC being the measuring stick for ESBC to cross in order to take the throne as the king of combat sports games. So, starting with the graphics, I think that both shine in their own regard. But keep in mind that Esports Boxing Club is showing alpha footage. Now, I really like the cinematic style of Esports Boxing Club, although UFC 4 does look really clean in the graphics department. You can tell though that Steel City put a lot of emphasis on capturing lighting and drama for their shots. UFC, on the other hand, used much brighter colors. One thing I would like to say about UFC is the amount of muscular detail that you can see in the UFC fighters. Clearly, the fighters in Esports Boxing Club are much bigger guys, but I hope to see a lot more definition in the smaller and more physically gifted fighters as Esports Boxing Club comes along. Clearly, the movement will be completely different between these two games, but the big thing to look, at least for me, is emotion and flow. So in Esports Boxing Club, the characters seem to move with a lot of character, almost catching the mood of the fighter in the moment. UFC can come off as somewhat robotic, but the way that they move during the ground game to me looks really good. So they transition in between the positions really quick and really smooth, and I think it looks really nice. The only problem I have with UFC is that it all really lacks any real emotion. Now, with Esports Boxing Club, you can get a sense of the fighter's emotional state just by his body movement, but their faces seem to kind of lack expression. So, of course, that is until they get hit and you can clearly see them react, but the same can be said about UFC. This honestly isn't really a knock on either, as most games don't capture real-time constant facial expressions, and I mean things like slight eyebrow raises or kind of smirks that kind of help you get a sense of what the individual in the game is really thinking and how they're feeling. But if someone could capture that to a greater degree, I think they would really be on to something. But I think that's something that's saved for greater tech in the future. Now, this may be something that people are talking about or maybe not, but I noticed that UFC seems to lack that feel of impact in the punches. It just doesn't really look or really feel rewarding when you're striking. With Esports Boxing Club, I think they're getting there, but not quite all the way there yet. You can hear a real thump when the punches land, and you can see very minor moves in the body, so the fighter designs don't really seem like they are just these walking solid bricks. They actually seem like they move naturally. So here's my conclusion. All in all, I think that both of these games are doing really good graphically and mechanically while working in the confines of the digital realm. We always got to keep that in mind. There's only so much you can do when you're trying to capture real life in digital space. But I think that if UFC wants to maintain its spot in the future as the king of combat sports, that they will have to kind of start putting more emphasis into their fighters' movements. It just all seems to lack real personality when you are fighting. Those small things make a real big difference when it comes to capturing and maintaining your fans' attention. And that's it. That's all I got for this video. If you enjoyed the content, please like and subscribe to the channel. Feel free to check out any of the other videos also. And if you have an idea for a video and would like your comment shout out, then leave me an idea in the comment section. Let me know. I'll check them out. I'll try to contact and try to talk to all y'all all the time. I appreciate you all for coming back as always. And from the Coach's Corner, I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.